Welcome to Gold Silver Pros. Searching for the best precious metals deal? Shop with our trusted partner, Arc Silver. Access special deals on silver, gold, and platinum through our website or call 307-264-9441.
And back we are with Ian Everard of Arc Silver to talk about the metals update. Before we get to the metals, Ian, I know you and I have been talking quite a bit lately about what the world may look like after this reset occurs, and we're talking about the strengths and weaknesses of all the the major countries. And I think you're of the opinion, maybe a little bit differently than a lot of people, about how the scenario can turn out in terms of who may end up on top. Can you share with us your opinion on that? It's a very interesting one.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of factors, and they contradict what I thought I knew about what's going on. But just looking at the big picture, and we'll keep this as brief as we can, for multiple reasons, I cannot see that America as a nation cannot but prosper going forward. Now, how that prosperity is shared out is a different matter. I think for people who are prepared and people who are prepared to adapt to a rapidly changing business environment, tax environment, currency environment, they're going to prosper. People are adaptable, ready to move and move quickly. They're going to prosper, but there's huge prosperity coming. But unfortunately, I just feel most of it will go to the big corporations and to the banks yet again.
Yeah, I think you could be right on that. And, as you look at the world, I don't think anything ever goes how people think it's going to go. We had this conversation over China earlier today, and China is certainly an interesting case. There are a lot of advantages and disadvantages to them. One is the dysfunction they have in their government. Yeah. And two is that they're moving, I think, from a manufacturing economy into where they're trying to build their middle class and almost kind of get on the level of a UK or Europe or the US. And they're kind of in that mode, but if we're going to have this big financial reset, they're probably pretty vulnerable. What are your thoughts about China? Do you think they make it through, and how will they be on the other side of this?
I'm really concerned for the Chinese people, because it should be a government's priority to make sure people are fed and don't starve. That should be a number one. No one should be hungry.
Right.
So China's got big issues. They're huge importers of food, huge importers of energy, huge importers of technical expertise. That can all go away. The technical expertise, we've got the Biden administration brought out the ban on level 1 and level 2 microprocessors and all associated software equipment. That's going to hit hard, because they're probably 10 years behind being able to make the highest end chips that we currently have. But with the way microprocessors progress, it's always about the next level, the faster, the quicker, the more efficient, the lower energy usage. So they're going to get shut out of high-end production, and that has a knock-on effect on many fields, manufacturing and all sorts of things in their own economy, if they want not to have access to that. So there seems to be a lot of headwinds blowing against them. Food insecurity, energy insecurity, and you mentioned government earlier. They don't have government; they have a one-man dictatorship, and so huge misallocation of energy and labor and resources over decades. They've wasted a lot of the country's resources.
Yeah, I know years and years ago we were talking about all the empty cities that China had. So it did seem like they were overbuilding and expecting this big expansion. But moving beyond them, what do you think happens to the dollar? I think eventually the paper dollar goes away and they have the digital dollar. But do you think the dollar is still world reserve currency? Or do you think it's one in a batch of many competing currencies around the world?
I think we're going to get a fracturing. We're not necessarily going to have one world reserve currency. I think we're going to get alliances built, and they're there already to a certain extent. People are sort of joining. I mean, Japan has joined to America. I think Britain is going to join the North American Free Trade Area. Canada is part of it. Mexico is part of it. And then you're going to get other groups that might decide to trade. I mean, my instinct would tell me that the only other option for other countries would be gold, but that doesn't necessarily mean the end of the dollar. If you've got huge mass of fairly relatively wealthy developed countries using the dollar, it still works as long as they can do some extreme quantitative tightening.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely a possibility. So we can, turning attention to your shop, Ian, we can see that you've been doing some work today. Tell us about your shop. Are you opening up a retail shop?
We are, yeah. Hopefully we're about 3 weeks away from moving pretty well all of the operations here. And yeah, we will have the doors open for walk-in retail. It gives us, hopefully we can serve the local community and 100-mile radius or more. And Jackson Hole is a destination for many other reasons. Yeah, so in my spare time, I come down here and yeah, we're fitting the store out.
Yeah, well, it's awesome. So we'll do a tour, as soon as the snow clears, I guess. We'll come up and do a tour, and that's really cool that you're doing that. So you would be the only one in your area, is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, I have a friend who visits there's a couple of coin shops in Idaho Falls, but they're not high end, as it were. So I aim to be a high end, but without the high end prices. So it's a pleasant retail experience to come in and have a look at a large range of product.
Awesome. So last week, Ian, you came on the program and you offered gold and silver at spot. I think we had a really nice reaction to that. I counted at least 250 or so people that reached out to you. How is that going, and where are you in terms of your deals for the metals right now?
Yeah, so we're concentrating on working through all those inquiries. We had to turn it off on Friday. I think you texted me, didn't you? So shall I turn it off? And
yeah,
and I said, yeah, okay. But yeah, so everyone who's in the system will get. We're aiming to give them at least 20 ounces of silver at spot. So we will work through everybody who's in the system. We'll get that. So yeah, that'll take us probably 4 or 5 days to work through everybody, get everybody invoiced up, and at the same time, we'll be dispatching orders late next week for the first people we've processed.
Yeah, I think it took a while to sink in because we talked about it on the show, and we kind of saw some activity. And I was like, "Are people not getting it?" So then we kind of broke it out into different posts on social media, and then I think people got it, and then things kind of took off. So it was a great offer, and thank you for coming on the show and offering that. But it just goes to show that ARC Silver really is serious about providing low premium silver to the market. And I think, Ian, ever since you've been on the last 6 months or so, I don't think anybody's beaten your deals that I'm aware of in terms of the prices that you offer. And we have not received, a single negative review at all. So you've done a great job with that. And, we appreciate your offering deals to our viewers.
Yeah, thank you, Rob. Well, you have a great channel, great content, and great viewers, and I'm looking forward to seeing your channel grow. And we want to do what we can to help that by bringing the best deals through Gold Silver Pros.
Well, we've certainly done that, and I think that people are starting to get that message. And I imagine the other dealers are probably scrambling around at this point, trying to match that. So that's good for competition. It's good for the people to have that option. And congrats on the store. Like I said, we'll definitely come up and film it when you're ready. And you'll be on next week as well. So we'll do another metals update next weekend, and we'll catch back up with you. And hopefully your prediction on how America will come out of the reset, is a good one. Certainly, it would be nice, after all the doom and gloom we've had the last 12 or 13 years, to have to go through the hard times, but have a relative soft landing. I think would be a great outcome for people. So, stay tuned to the show. I think Ian and I will talk about this every Sunday probably. And hopefully, Ian, you're correct on that. That would be great.
Thank you, Rob.
All right. We will join you guys again next week for the weekly market update. As always, I'll have the metal update with Ian. Stay tuned Tuesday for our live segment. And then Thursdays, where we usually have a special guest or just provide you some additional research. And of course, you can tune in any point in time to Twitter, where we post throughout the week. Till next time, this is Rob Kientz with Gold Silver Pros and Ian Everard with Arc Silver.
Hey, thanks for watching. We selected these videos just for you. Check them out. And remember, $4.99 a month keeps the lights on and the channel going. So join our Gold Silver Pro supporter membership. We appreciate your support. Keep stacking.